Here's more wrestling news for May 9th, 2023, and we're starting off with Backlash 2023 as Brock Lesnar bled buckets during his match with Cody Rhodes at WWE's first premium live event since the Endeavor deal was announced. Soon, WWE will be merged into a new company with the UFC, and there's a lot of questions about what that means for the on-screen product. Given Lesnar's gushing, some had speculated that WWE may have changed its policy on bleeding to be more akin to UFC, but that isn't the case. When Ringside News asked sources within WWE, they were told that there has been no indication that there will be a change to WWE's bleeding policy, either now or after the deal has gone through. As for why Lesnar was allowed to bleed at Backlash, the simple answer is that he is Brock Lesnar and is allowed certain privileges that other WWE superstars don't receive. While blood is not uniformly banned in WWE, it is used sparingly, and expect that to still be the case after the UFC merger goes through. Backlash also saw OMOS in action as the former Raw Tag Team Champion came up short against Seth Rollins in another high-profile match for the Nigerian Giant. At WrestleMania last month, OMOS was sharing the ring with Brock Lesnar, and while he lost both matches, the Giant is making the right impressions behind the scenes. According to PW Insider, people within the company were very happy with Omos's performance against Rollins, and the feeling is that he is making significant progress with each match. The belief backstage is that Omos vs. Rollins was one of the best matches we've seen from the Nigerian superstar, and that the company has high hopes for him in the future. Omos is the latest Giant to step foot into a WWE ring, and WWE clearly has growing faith in him. And what do you expect in the career of this large superstar? Omos had one of the best matches of his career at Backlash, though given that he was in the ring with Seth Rollins, having a bad match was always going to be difficult. Since his main roster debut in 2012, Rollins has had plenty of major matches, title wins, and other accolades, and Mark Henry has praised the legacy of the Architect of the Shield. Speaking on Busted Open Radio, Mark Henry said that despite losing, Omos sharing the ring with Rollins was a win for the Nigerian Giant, and added, "You don't always have to go over to get over. Omos won. He got experience by being in the ring with an elite pro wrestling talent, someone people will talk about for the next 150 years. And I knew that match was going to be great because Seth Rollins brings out the best in the people that he works with. And he had a lot to work with. Omos is going to be really good in the ring in the up-and-coming years." Now Rollins is on the cusp of another huge moment in his career as he advanced to the finals of the World Heavyweight Championship tournament during Raw, and don't be surprised if the Architect is holding the gold by the end of this month. But what do you think to Henry's comments? Is Rollins' career going to be one fans look to in the year 2173? Sound off in the comments below. Now at WWE Backlash, Zelina Vega was full of emotions for her SmackDown Women's title match against Rhea Ripley, as the LWO member is of Puerto Rican heritage. Vega also dedicated the match to her father, who was killed in the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks, and the crowd were firmly behind Vega throughout the match. Unfortunately for the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, Backlash wasn't her night, but did WWE make the wrong call? During Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray suggested that sometimes a title change is necessary for the right reasons, and that last weekend's show was one of those instances. He explained, "There are certain times in this business you do things for other reasons beyond just the business. I don't think Zelina is a better wrestler than Rhea, but if there was ever a moment for Rhea to slip on a banana peel and for Zelina to get the 1-2-3, it was that night in Puerto Rico, just so we could see that championship around her waist with her family coming in the ring and looking up at her dad in the heavens. Why not put that championship on her for 2 days? Why not get her over to the 9/11 memorial to take some pictures at her dad's final resting place that she can have forever and ever?" Bully Ray, alongside Mark Henry, said that Rhea could have won the title back on Raw, and ending Vega's reign so quickly would have gotten the Australian superstar MJF levels of heat. Ultimately, WWE opted against the idea, and both Hall of Famers agreed that WWE can't go back to catch lightning in a bottle. And do you think WWE made a mistake by having Vega lose in Puerto Rico? Sound off in the comments. It's been less than a week since Trinity made her debut in Impact Wrestling and made it clear that she wants the Knockouts World Championship. Later this month, Impact will hold their Under Siege event, and fans will get to see the former SmackDown Women's Champion make her Impact pay-per-view debut. According to Impact, Trinity has an open contract for a match at the event, and during the latest tapings for Impact on Access TV, it was revealed that the former Naomi will face Giselle Shaw. Impact Under Siege will kick off an epic 3 days of wrestling, with WWE Crown Jewel happening the next night and AEW Double or Nothing the night after that. And we'll have to see how Trinity fares in her first major match for Impact. As a veteran of wrestling, Chris Jericho has been able to travel the world and experience a lot of cities, but recently the AEW star had a less than stellar experience at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Taking to Twitter, Jericho shared a few details on what seemed to be a confrontation with hotel security over luggage, stating, "Hey Mandalay Bay, it's unacceptable that you tried to bully me and assault me when all I wanted was my bags that I left at the concierge. Security staff ignored me for 30 minutes, and when I made some noise, physically and mentally assaulted me and laughed in my face. I want restitution now." This isn't the first time Jericho has used his substantial social media platform to call out a business, as Jericho has been calling out bad experiences dating back to 2019 and took issue with Derek the manager from Hilton Hotels earlier this year. Hopefully Jericho can get this matter resolved, as he did not deserve to be treated the way he did, and with a big summer planned, including a feud with Adam Cole and a rumored feud with CM Punk, Y2J will want to rest easy. Over to Raw now, as Rhea Ripley squashed Dana Brooke during this week's show, and her post-match attack would have continued if not for the intervention of Natalya. Staring down with the mommy of the Judgment Day, it's clear that the Canadian will be Ripley's next challenger, but this segment has hardly won people over. For one, Natalya, dressed to the nines in her heels, made no attempt to rush to the ring and save Brooke, giving Ripley plenty of time to continue her assault. It looked so awkward that even Corey Graves had to call her out on it, and the idea that Ripley is somewhat scared of Natalya is a bit cheap, considering how both have been booked. While Ripley is on the roll of her career, Natalya is very much the veteran that younger stars beat to move up the card, despite the Canadian being a highly talented superstar in her own right. Everybody knows that this is a filler feud and that there's no chance that Natalya will end Ripley's title reign at Night of Champions, which begs the question as to why have the feud in the first place. Last month, Ted Dibiase Jr., the son of the $1 Million Man, was formally indicted and is facing numerous serious charges related to a welfare embezzlement scam. Dibiase's name is tied to a scam in which funds allocated to help the least fortunate in Mississippi were used instead by individuals for personal gain, and there's now been an update in the case. PW Insider reports that the federal government has recently filed to delay Dibiase Jr.'s trial, stating the need for more time in the extensive discovery period. Ted Jr. isn't the only family member facing the heat, as his brother Brett has pled guilty to the charge of attempting to defraud the United States, and their father Ted Sr. has a ministry which benefited greatly from the allocation of these mishandled funds. Court records indicate that both parties are currently working on a timetable for the trial, which was initially scheduled to begin on June 20th, and we'll keep following this case for further updates. More legal news, as former WWE writer Britney Abrahams has filed the lawsuit against the company, arguing discrimination and wrongful termination by the promotion. Abrahams' claim is that she was fired for speaking up against deeply offensive and racist storyline ideas, but a verdict won't be coming anytime soon. In the latest court records, no defendants have been served summons yet, meaning that neither Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, or anyone else named in the suit is under any obligation to appear in court. Of course, that could change in due time, and Abrahams has plenty of names in her lawsuit, including Ryan Callahan, WWE's current VP of SmackDown, who allegedly pitched an idea for Mansoor to be responsible for 9/11. Abrahams was fired for taking a WrestleMania chair, something she claims she was told she could do and saw others do without being punished, and this case will be one to keep an eye on in the months to come. At Backlash, Matt Riddle teamed with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in a losing effort to the Bloodline, but the original bro had a notable name in the crowd cheering him on. Eagle-eyed fans will have spotted Misha Montana, Riddle's adult film actress girlfriend, in the crowd, as she made the long trip to Puerto Rico, and while she lost to the Bloodline, Riddle's new relationship is stronger than ever. And we're ending with WWE, as the company has had quite the success with premium live events outside of the continental United States. Clash at the Castle in Wales, Elimination Chamber in Montreal, and Backlash last weekend all proved to be hits. And now WWE is looking at taking their brand of sports entertainment down under. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reports that WWE is currently talking to representatives from Australia about bringing a premium live event to the country, and there's no shortage of fans in Australia. It was in 2018 that WWE hosted Super Showdown in the Melbourne Cricket Ground, with a reported 70,309 fans filling the venue to see WWE action live. Interestingly, it's not just WWE who are showing interest in Australia, as Impact have announced plans for 2 shows this summer in Australia, as fans in the country could have plenty of wrestling to choose from very soon.